Happy Friday, everyone. So, for today's live, I'm going to show you guys how to make your own hamburger helper. So, we were talking the other day about comfort foods and what you like to eat and things like that. And then my wife went out shopping, and then she came home with a box of Hamburger Helper. And she just said, well, it's just because it reminds me of when I was a kid, and it's good, and it's comforting. And I was like, well, we can make it, and it doesn't have to have all that sodium and all of the stuff and the words that you can't pronounce. So I'm going to really show you guys how to make a really basic Hamburger Helper, and then I'll talk to you about stuff that we could add to make it your own, okay? So, starting off, we're going to need a pound of ground meat. Today I've got pork because that's what I have and that's what was thawed. You can use beef, you can use chicken, any kind of ground meat whatsoever. 2 cups of cheese, half a cup of sour cream. If you don't have sour cream, you can use milk. So all we're going to do is we'll substitute the amount of milk for stock. So half a cup, we'll take out half a cup of broth. So you'll need 1 liter of broth, a teaspoon of mustard, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of seasoning salt, and a tablespoon of barbecue sauce or ketchup. Everyone who knows me knows that I don't like ketchup, so we're going to substitute with a barbecue sauce. Salt and pepper, and then hot sauce if you want a little bit spicier. You can also use real onions, and real garlic in this. So I would use 1 onion and probably about 3 cloves of garlic for this recipe. Again, if you have it, you can use it. If you don't, a lot of people have this in the cupboard. And like I said, I'm going to show you the really basic, simple way to make a hamburger helper. So first thing you want to do is you want to get a large skillet, or you can use one of your pasta pot. It doesn't really matter. And you're going to need a lid as well. So we're going to start off by frying a little bit of oil with this pork. We're going to fry our pork. There we go. Then we're going to cook it up until all the pink is out, or until it's fully cooked. So we're not going to add any other seasonings or anything else to it yet. There's all kinds of different ways to make a hamburger helper, or it's basically a one-pot pasta. So I may have shown you before. I'm not sure if we have or not, but I've shown a lot of in classes. So if you've been to some of my classes, you've seen those one-pot pastas. That's basically what a hamburger helper is. There's just different ways. You can substitute and use. I'm using beef stock today. You can use water if you'd like. You can use the vegetable stock that you've been making. So anything you want. If you don't have it, water works just as well. There we go. We're gonna get this all nice and let's turn that up. So this is fairly lean pork, so we're not going to get that much fat from it. But if you're going to use regular ground beef or regular ground pork, you'll find that it will produce a lot of fat. And with that fat, you're going to want to drain it off before we continue on to the next step. So there we go. That's probably about 80% done right here. Doesn't have to be fully done. So to this, I'm going to add our seasoning salt, our onion powder, our garlic powder. Give this a good mix. Now I'm going to add a little bit of salt. About a teaspoon. And the same goes for pepper. There we go. I'm going to add my mustard. Now you can use dry mustard, you can use the Dijon that I like using, or a yellow mustard that works as well. Mix. So we're going to add our barbecue sauce, or ketchup if that's what you want to use or that's what you have. Give that a good mix.
Amy Dunn says, hey.
Oh, hello Amy, how are you? There we go. And then we were going to add our pasta. Now pasta, macaroni, if you like, and this is 1 box or 2 cups of pasta. I've got gemelli pasta right here, but you're going to want to find something that's small. So you're not going to want to use any macaroni or linguine or spaghetti or fettuccine for this. This you're going to want to use a nice short pasta. So your bow ties, your macaroni, your gemelli, any kind of short pasta. A rigatoni if you'd like to. And there you go. So you add that. You give it a good stir. So, I mean, right now, it looks exactly like the Hamburger Helper that you're making at home out of the box. You open the box, you fry your burger, you add that little packet of dust to it, you add your noodles, and then you add water. So basically your packet of dust was just those seasonings and probably some beef broth or the like. So you just add your liter or 4 cups of water, broth, stock. There we go, we put it on. And then all we need to do now is we are going to put a lid on it, just like our Hamburger Helper, and we're going to let it come to a boil until the noodles are nice, soft, and tender. Once they're tender, we're going to season them with a little salt and pepper, and then we'll go from there. So add-ons to our Hamburger Helpers. So like I was saying, there's all kinds of things you can add to this dish once you're done and kind of jazz it up. What I'm going to do today is I'm just going to add a can of tomatoes. I'm going to add some Italian seasoning, so basil, oregano, thyme. And I'm going to add a little bit of pesto to it. Just give it a little bit of Italian flavor. And I'm just going to make it a lot creamier. So I've got this nice cream cheese. So I'm just going to put a little bit of cream cheese in it. If you don't have it, that's okay. You can also use a can of tomato soup into this mixture to add a little bit more pizzazz. A can of mushroom soup would work really, really great too. You could add different vegetables. So whatever's in your fridge. If you've got peppers that are starting to go, great thing to add to this. If you've got, what's I going to say? If you've got tomatoes that you'd like to add to that, then definitely dice them up. Put them in instead of using a can. If you've got fresh ones, go right ahead. And I think that's pretty much it. Really simple and easy to do.
Amy says she still makes the
stroganoff. One-pot stroganoff, that's right.
Now they put pickles in it. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah, well, that's exactly it. I mean, that's a classic stroganoff. When you put gherkin or pickle in it. There we go. So, you could also use egg noodle for this as well. I was also thinking, and it might even go a little bit quicker, which is really nice. So it's patience is what it is, really. We just have to let this come right up to. Now, if you want to cook this a lot quicker, what I should have done is I should have brought my stock up to a boil, but then that would defeat the purpose of the one-pot meal now, wouldn't it? There we go. Just going to tidy up a little bit while we wait. Oh, that's it. Well, let's talk about next week. So, next week is the start of March break. So, what we plan on doing here is that Miss Rigby is going to come back and she's going to join me, and we're going to make a we're going to make oatmeal chocolate chip cookies together. So what I'm asking you guys, if you'd like to, is next week we're going to post a recipe. So we're going to do a March break cooking class. So get the kids together, get your laptop or your tablet and set it up in the kitchen. You can get all the ingredients, and then you guys can follow along with Rigby and I, and we'll be able to show you guys how to make oatmeal chocolate chips together. For our clients at the food bank, next week, Greg is going to start putting an oatmeal chocolate chip cookie pack inside each box. So if you guys happen to grab that and you want to join us on Friday for class at 11 o'clock, all you need is an oven, a bowl to put your stuff in, and a cookie sheet. And then you'll be all set and ready to work with us. So let's starting up a little bit. And again, like I said, you can use any kind of ground meat that you'd like. You can use a combination. You can put beef and pork, scraps of anything. If you're a hunter, this is really, really nice for moose or venison or even bear.
We've got a comment from Natalie who says she has some fake hamburger. We're wondering what to do with. She's going to try.
Oh, fake hamburger, you mean like that meatless product stuff that what was it called? Oh.
I don't remember.
Me either. But that's a great idea. For sure. But again, it just adapts to anything you want to make. Kind of like what Amy said, that stroganoff, same basic principle. It'll be a lot like a stroganoff today. So I think this would be the cheeseburger version of the famous brand. And again, if you know what goes in it and you can pronounce the words that are in it, then it's better for your body. Chemicals and stuff are great to preserve things, but again, we don't need them in our bodies. We don't need to worry about that kind of stuff. So the more you cook for yourself, the healthier you'll be, the better you'll feel, and there's a sense of accomplishment. And I totally get it, guys. It's busy and you don't feel like it, or it's an afterthought, but it just takes 10, 15 minutes. It will take no longer to do this than it would to open up a box. So treat yourself and enjoy. So here we go. Now it's starting to boil now, so... And you'll notice as it's boiling that it will reduce and it'll thicken up. So the starch from the pasta is what's going to thicken up your sauce here. The cheese and the sour cream are also going to help that do its thing as well.
Natalie says it's just a plant-based, meat-free ground burger. She thought she'd try.
Why not? That's a great way. And speaking of that, I mean, if it's on sale, then that's fantastic. And then we were talking about that today, about shopping tips. With Meals Made Simple, the meal planning app that we're trying to create here at the Greener Village, we were talking about what kind of tips and trades that you have. And we were talking about that. We were talking about meat at the grocery store, or anything at the grocery store. So when you're budgeting your meals for the week, or for the 2 weeks or whatever, always budget an extra $25, $30 for those unexpected things. So the other day, I was out grocery shopping and we saw that butter was on sale. Butter wasn't on our list, but geez, it's on sale. We use butter, so we grabbed that extra $25 and we bought butter with it. Or you'll go into the grocery store and you'll notice that a lot of your protein, a lot of your meats are on the 50% off or enjoy tonight. Well, if you take it and you put it right in your freezer, you don't have to enjoy it tonight. You can enjoy it a week from now, a month from now. So what you do is you just kind of, if you've got that wiggle room in your budget, and try to get that wiggle room in your budget. I know it's hard sometimes, but if you can, it's great. And then that just means that the next following week when you go in and you're looking at, say, drumsticks, for example, if they're $1.99 a pound this week, then buy 3 or 4 packages. And then you'll know that in 2 weeks from now, when you've got drumsticks on your list again, well, then you're going to save that savings instead of it going back up to the $3.99 or whatever it is a pound. Okay, so this is starting to look good. Just going to check my pasta, which is almost there. It's almost there, but it's close enough that it's going to keep on cooking. So I'm going to keep it like that. Now all we're going to do is we're going to add your favorite kind of cheese, 2 cups of it. So we're going to add some cheddar cheese here. And I'm also going to add the sour cream. Now, like I was saying earlier, if you don't have sour cream, don't worry about it. You don't have to add it. What you'll do is you'll take half a cup of your stock and replace it with milk, and that'll make it nice and creamy for you. Now I'm going to add my cream cheese because I have it, and why not use it? This was just like a little sample pack that we had gotten, so there you go. And then with it on, we're just going to melt everything right in. And at this time here, right now, I'm going to season. So a little pepper, and a little salt. And then I'm going to season with some Italian seasoning right here. So when you're seasoning, remember to always put it in your hand. Don't shake it out like this because you could get bumped. The next thing you know, you got way more seasoning. And it's easier to add more than it is to take it out of your dish. There we go. And what I like to do is I like to keep it uncovered for a few minutes as well as it cooks. That way all the excess moisture here should evaporate. You're basically covering it to create steam in order to cook your pasta quicker. And there we go. And at this point too, I'm also going to add these tomatoes. Just add a little bit more vegetable. And again, you can add peppers, you can add onions, whatever you'd like. There we are, guys. So we got our Hamburger Helper. All you're going to do is you're going to cook it until it reduces, and then the sauce thickens to the way you like it. And then there you go. You serve it with some garlic bread or with a nice salad. It's completely up to you. So be sure to join Rigby and I next Friday, and we'll make some oatmeal chocolate chip cookies together. All right. We'll see you next week.